With this episode of Learning English Through Music, you can learn about 2,000 words. We have quite a few songs here we want to sing, different types and with different types of words. If you have questions about the meaning of different vocabulary and so forth, you can ask me, of course, directly, but it would be actually helpful to me if you ask your questions on YouTube, where this will be posted, and that way other people, other students, can read the questions and hear the answers there, or read the answers there anyway. Okay, let's proceed. This first song is "You Needed Me." We actually introduced this in class last week, but again, this is part of our English for Russian Speakers series. And if you don't speak Russian and don't speak English, let me know, and I can create this for other languages, although I'm just using Google Translate for the other language, for Russian in my case, in this case. And so you could actually do that yourself, and or I could send you a copy of the actual PowerPoint. This is created in PowerPoint, so you could actually Google and insert your language, whatever it is, into the spot where you currently see Russian. Okay, let's just read through. I want to pronounce all the vocabulary for this song. And so when we're ready to sing it, hopefully you can remember the pronunciation. So, I cried a tear, you wiped it dry. I was confused, you cleared my mind. I sold my soul, you bought it back for me, and held me up and gave me dignity. Somehow you needed me. You gave me strength to stand alone again, to face the world out on my own again. You put me high upon a pedestal, so high that I could almost see eternity. You needed me, you needed me. And I can't believe it's you, I can't believe it's true. I needed you, and you were there. And I'll never leave. Why should I leave? I'd be a fool. Because I finally found someone who really cares. Okay. The song that I would recommend that you watch as you sing along with, in this case, Anne Murray, is listed here at the top. You can copy that, or if it will respond to a click, and sing along with Anne Murray. She's a singer from the 60s and 70s and 80s era. I think she kind of ended her career in the 1990s. She has a really nice voice. I used to, when my youngest daughter was a baby, I would sing along with Anne Murray and dance with my daughter, and that was I have fond memories of that. And then my daughter did become a professional singer. She hasn't made it real big yet. It looks like Anne Murray was talking about singing other people's songs until somebody heard her and wanted to contribute their song to her, and it became a hit, and that's where her career really took off. Okay, to another song. There is a song or a YouTube video where Anne Murray sings with Celine Dion, but it doesn't have lyrics. It doesn't have closed caption with it. I've given you two links here. One is one from the 1950s. I didn't know the song was that old, by a famous actress and singer Doris Day. She was famous when I was very, very young. And then a second link to a duet between Celine Dion and Clive Griffin with some interesting background video with it from a famous movie. I don't recall if this song was actually sung as part of that movie. I kind of think it must have been, but it's been a while since I watched the movie. Okay, so when I fall in love, it will be forever, or I'll never fall in love. In a restless world like this love is ended before it's begun, and too many moonlight kisses seem to cool in the warmth of the sun. When I give my heart, it will be completely, or I'll never give my heart. And the moment I can feel that you feel that way too is when I fall in love with you. When I fall in love, it will be forever, or I'll never fall in love. In a restless world like this love has ended before it's begun, and too many moonlight kisses seem to cool in the warmth of the sun. When I give my heart, it will be completely, or I'll never give my heart. And the moment I can feel that you feel that way too is when I fall in love with you. And the moment I can feel that you feel that way too is when I fall in love, when I fall in love, when I fall in love with you. Okay, another song in this series, Snowbird. This one actually was the song that really kicked off Anne Murray's career. As I said a second ago, and as she says in a concert she did, that she, and by the way, I see I'm misspelling Murray in this. It should have Murray. But anyway, this is a song that somebody gave to her to sing without any obligations or anything. I'm sure she gave the writer not only recognition, but a piece of the action, so to speak. Anyway, so it's a very beautiful song, and I'll read through this. Beneath this snowy mantle, cold and clean, the unborn grass lies waiting for its coat to turn to green. The snowbird sings the song he always sings and speaks to me of flowers that will bloom again in spring. When I was young, my heart was young then too. Anything that it would tell me, that's the thing that I would do. But now I feel such emptiness within, where the thing that I want most in life's the thing that I can't win. Spread your tiny wings and fly away, and take the snow back with you where it came from on that day. The one I love forever is untrue, and if I could, you know that I would fly away with you. The breeze along the river seems to say that he'll only break my heart again should I decide to stay. So little snowbird, take me with you when you go to that land of gentle breezes where the peaceful waters flow. Spread your tiny wings and fly away and take the snow back with you where it came from on that day. The one I love forever is untrue, and if I could, you know that I would fly away with you. Yea, if I could, you know that I would fly away with you. Okay, next song. Again, I misspelled Anne Murray's name. Should be AY at the end. And again, I'm providing the links to the songs, and I think all these songs that the links to which I'm providing do have subtitles. So once you understand the pronunciation, you should be able to go sing with the music stars that I'm citing here. Could I Have This Dance? Now, this is the exact song that I used to dance with most frequently with my daughter. So, the lyrics. I'll always remember the song they were playing the first time we danced, and I knew. As we swayed to the music and held to each other, I fell in love with you. Could I have this dance for the rest of my life? Could you be my partner every night? When we're together, it feels so right. Could I have this dance for the rest of my life? I'll always remember that magic moment when I held you close to me. As we moved together, I knew forever you're all I'll ever need. Could I have this dance for the rest of my life? Could you be my partner every night? When we're together, it feels so right. Could I have this dance for the rest of my life? Could I have this dance for the rest of my life? Could you be my partner every night? When we're together, it feels so right. Could I have this dance for the rest of my life? Going on to another song. Okay, here are the lyrics. Everyone considered him the coward of the county. He never stood one single time to prove the county wrong. His mama named him Tommy, but the folks just called him Yellow. Something always told me they were reading Tommy wrong. Let me just give, there may be some, that they definitely, translation may not totally tell the meaning of the English lyrics. First off, yellow is a way some people call people they think are cowards or people afraid to fight, afraid to stand up for anything, whatever. So they call those people, instead of coward, they can call them yellow. Also, where it says something always told me they were reading Tommy wrong. Reading in this case means not understanding him properly. They thought he was a coward, yellow, but anyway, this is his uncle in the song. It's his uncle who's saying this, that they didn't really understand Tommy. Going on to the next paragraph. He was only 10 years old when his daddy died in prison. I looked after Tommy because he was my brother's son. I still recall the final words my brother said to Tommy, "Son, my life is over, but yours has just begun. Promise me, son, not to do the things I've done. Walk away from trouble if you can." Now, it don't mean you're weak if you turn the other cheek. I hope you're old enough to understand. Son, you don't have to fight to be a man. Again, an explanation, turn the other cheek is um, comes from a Christian scripture. Of course, America is largely a Christian country. And so this is um, something that comes from the Bible. Just turn the other cheek, that Jesus taught people not to, that basically to be very patient, be very, don't feel like, basically, he taught more or less what Tommy's daddy said is, you don't have to fight back. You can walk away. And it doesn't mean you're yellow. Some people might pronounce that yeller. Anyway, it doesn't mean you're yellow. In other words, it doesn't mean you're a coward. In fact, if you happen to know the story of Jesus, he was anything but a coward. And that turns out to be true for Tommy as well. Okay. Again, I hope you're old enough to understand, son, you don't have to fight to be a man. There's someone for everyone, and Tommy's love was Becky. In her arms, he didn't have to prove he was a man. One day, while he was working, the Gatlin boys came calling. They took turns at Becky, and there was three of them. Tommy opened up the door and saw his Becky crying. The torn dress, the shattered look was more than he could stand. Okay, these lyrics are a little bit longer, so we're going to another slide. Okay, again, this is slide 2 of the lyrics to Coward of the County. I'll continue. Okay, the first slide, Tommy comes home and sees his wife, Becky, has been attacked by the Gatlin boys. Okay, so now he's responding. He reached above the fireplace, took down his daddy's 6-shooter. As a tear fell on his daddy's face, he heard these words again. Before I read that next paragraph, a 6-shooter is a gun. It was the most common gun in the late 1880s. I happen to own one in America. Okay, so he reached above the fireplace, took down his daddy's 6-shooter. As a tear fell on his daddy's face, he heard these words again. Promise me, son, not to do the things I've done. Walk away from trouble if you can. Now it won't mean you're weak if you turn the other cheek. I hope you're old enough to understand. Son, you don't have to fight to be a man. The Gatlin boys just laughed at him when he walked into the bar room. One of them got up and met him halfway across the floor. Let me read that again. One of them got up and met him halfway across the floor. When Tommy turned around, they said, "Hey, look, old Yella's leaving." But you could have heard a pin drop when Tommy stopped and locked the door. 20 years of crawling was bottled up inside him. He wasn't holding nothing back when he let him have it all. Again, I've probably explained it in other videos that the lyrics of which I've shared. In music, they use a lot of less common contractions, let me put it that way. So you should be aware that cannot that its contraction is can't, or will not, its contraction is won't. Most frequently, you take out one word. Won't is an exception of that. It changes the word totally, but it usually includes taking out some letter from the word. So in this case, you're seeing that every so often there's a contraction, unusual contraction, such as leaving. Leaving is the word, but they took the G off. So leaving. I know there's more than that one in this song, but I'm not going to go try to look for it here. But anyways, it is frequently, these unusual contractions happen in lots of different songs. It helps things to speed along a little bit, and at least as you learn English better, you'll be used to contractions that are not taught in your typical English class. Okay, so where were we at? Okay, M is a contraction here in the paragraph that I already read. 20 years of crawling. In other words, not standing up to bullies and stuff, was bottled up inside him. He wasn't holding nothing back. Nothing back. In this case, there appears to the G's in it, but in some renditions they might take the G off again. Nothing. He let him have it all. M. So M in this case, they've taken off TH in front of it. And the word is them. And they've taken off TH off the front. He let him have it all. When Tommy left the bar room, not a Gatlin boy was standing. He said, "This one's for Becky," as he watched the last one fall. Trying to figure out if this is a misprint or I heard him say, "I promised you, Dad, not to do the things you've done. I walk away from trouble when I can. Now please don't think I'm weak. I didn't turn the other cheek. And Papa, I sure hope you understand. Sometimes you gotta fight when you're a man." Kenny Rogers and a lot of the Western singers like to tell stories in their songs, but this is obviously one. But there's others also that maybe not to this extent. This is a fairly complete story in this song. Okay, another song with Anne Murray, "Just Fall in Love Again." And the lyrics, "Dreaming, I must be dreaming. Or am I really lying here with you? Baby, you take me in your arms, and though I'm wide awake, I know my dream is coming true. And oh, I just fall in love again. Just one touch, and then it happens every time. There I go, just fall in love again. And when I do, I can't help myself. I fall in love with you. Magic, it must be magic. The way I hold you, and the night just seems to fly. Easy for you to take me to a star. Heaven is that moment when I look into your eyes. And oh, I just fall in love again. Just one touch, and then it happens every time. There I go, I just fall in love again. And when I do, I can't help myself. I fall in love with you." This one is another Kenny Rogers song, more or less extent. A lot of Western songs tell stories. This one is not so definitive and as complete a story as "The Coward of the County," but it is has story aspects to it. Lyrics here: "I can't remember when you weren't there, when I didn't care for anyone but you. I swear we've been through everything there is. Can't imagine anything we've missed. Can't imagine anything the two of us can't do. Through the years, you've never let me down. You've turned my life around. The sweetest days I found with you. Through the years, I've never been afraid. I've loved the life we've made, and I'm so glad I've stayed right here with you through the years. I can't remember what I used to do, who I trusted, whom I listened to before. I swear you've taught me everything I know. Can't imagine needing someone so, but through the years, it seems to me I need you more and more." Next slide. This one's also a longer song. "Through the years, through all the good and bad, I knew how much we had. I've always been so glad to be with you. Through the years, it's better every day. You've kissed my tears away. As long as it's okay, I'll stay with you through the years. Through the years when everything went wrong, together we were strong. I know that I belong right here with you. Through the years, I never had a doubt. We always work things out. I've learned what love's about by loving you through the years." And here's one more Kenny Rogers song and another story. "The Gambler." On a warm summer's evening, on a train bound for nowhere, I met up with a gambler. We were both too tired to sleep, so we took turns staring out the window at the darkness till boredom overtook us and he began to speak. He said, "Son, I've made a life out of reading people's faces and knowing what their cards were by the way they held their eyes. So if you don't mind my saying, I can see you're out of aces. For a taste of your whiskey, I'll give you some advice. So I handed him my bottle, and he drank down my last swallow. Then he bummed a cigarette and asked me for a light, and the night got deathly quiet, and his face lost all expression. He said, "If you're going to play the game, boy, you got to learn to play it right." Next page. Know when to hold 'em, know when to fold 'em, know when to walk away, and know when to run. You never count your money when you're sitting at the table. There'll be time enough for counting when the dealing's done. Every gambler knows that the secret of surviving is knowing what to throw away and knowing what to keep. 'Cause every hand's a winner and every hand's a loser, and the best that you can hope for is to die in your sleep. And when he finished speaking, he turned back toward the window, crushed out his cigarette, and faded off to sleep. And somewhere in the darkness, the gambler, he broke even. But in his final words, I found an ace that I could keep. You gotta know when to hold 'em, know when to fold 'em, know when to walk away, and know when to run. You never count your money when you're sitting at the table. There'll be time enough for counting when the dealing's done. The lyrics to one more song before I end this video. This one is called "When I Fall in Love." It's been sung for a long time. The first recommendation I have here as far as singing with professionals from a gal that was a singer and actress back in the 1950s, Celine Dion and Clive Griffin also sang it as a duet. Other people have also sung it, including Anne Marie. In fact, she did a duet with Celine Dion, but I can't find a copy of that with the lyrics as a closed caption. So these two versions of it. One from the 19, well, I think it's actually from the 1960s, but Doris Day also did acting before that and singing before that. And then the second one is with Celine Dion and Clive Griffin, and has a movie track behind it. The movie Sleepless in Seattle. I remember that movie had lots of great background music to it. I don't remember for sure that When I Fall in Love was one of those songs, but regardless, in this particular rendition of When I Fall in Love, you'll see scenes from the movie Sleepless in Seattle. So the lyrics. When I fall in love, it will be forever, or I'll never fall in love. In a restless world like this is, love is ended before it's begun, and too many moonlight kisses seem to cool in the warmth of the sun. When I give my heart, it will be completely, or I'll never give my heart. And the moment I can feel that you feel that way too is when I fall in love with you. When I fall in love, it will be forever, or I'll never fall in love. In a restless world like this is, love is ended before it's begun, and too many moonlight kisses seem to cool in the warmth of the sun. When I give my heart, it will be completely, or I'll never give my heart. And the moment I can feel that you feel that way too is when I fall in love with you. And the moment I can feel that you feel that way too is when I fall in love. When I fall in love, when I fall in love with you.